Discovery, and welcome to WDMS. Today is Friday, August 30th. I'm Haley.
And I'm Sophia.
Please join us for a moment of silence, followed by the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Discovery. This is Mrs. Cunha. I just wanted to remind all of our Discovery Archers that this evening over at Penn High School is the community tailgate. So boys and girls, if you're planning on attending, I know that they're selling dinner, which includes hot dogs, over there at 5:30. But remember to be on your best behavior and show Discovery Pride as well as Penn Pride if you're going out to the game. And hope you can all make it wearing one of your Spirit shirts, either this year's or some of the past year's Spirit shirts would be great.
Good morning, Discovery. I'm very excited today. I'm going to debut Fun Fact Friday. It's going to be fun. And so today's fun fact that I have for you. Did you know that the length of your foot is approximately the same length as your forearm from elbow to wrist?
Ooh,
It doesn't
I
seem.
don't know if
it
they do that.
You've got to try it. If you're not sure, try it. Give it a try. It's approximately the same length.
I think Mr. Arter's trying it right now.
I know he
He's
is.
right there.
He is. And yes, it is. For Mr. Arter, it is. It's true. So, boys and girls, if you have any fun facts that you would like to share, please email them to me, along with some evidence so that I can verify your fact is true. And then I might give you a shout out and share your fun fact one day.
That's a great idea, Mrs. Masterson. Thank
yeah,
you
thank
for your
you.
Fun Fact Friday.
I do have a couple announcements.
Oh, okay.
Real quick. So t-shirts, they're still $20. The dance is a week from today. That is your ticket into the dance. So it's 4 to 5:30, and you have to have a parent ride here by 5:30 p.m. They can't be late because we can't leave until you leave. So we need you to make sure you have your parent ride here. You may not enter the hallways in the mornings before 8:50 a.m. There's been some students who have been coming in early. The only reason you should be in the hallways is if you're meeting with a teacher and you've checked in at the office first, so they know.
And actually that brings up a really good point, because we also want to make sure that our students who are entering in the morning are making sure that they're staying within their grade level hallways. So if you're an 8th grader, we shouldn't see you up in a 6th grade hallway in the morning. So just make sure you're in the right hallway where you need to be.
Good point. And Mrs. Cunha mentioned that we have the Penn game tonight. Just a reminder that when you're on any PHM property, you are held responsible for your behavior. Represent Discovery well, and make sure that you understand the code of conduct still applies at any PHM campus. Now, back to the desk.
Today's lovely lunches: macaroni and cheese, barbecue chicken sandwich, coyote quesadilla, mini pretzel, green beans, and blueberries.
Today's events. In the afternoon, there will be cross-country practice and 7th and 8th grade football practice.
The birthdays for today are Malachi Bohannon.
If you have a birthday in August or September, stop by the main office to pick up a birthday treat.
It was exactly a full team meet, but the cross-country boys and girls faced their first competition of the season yesterday at the Hokum Karam at Oxbow Park, as 10 Discovery boys and 10 Discovery girls raced against the best of the Big 11 Conference. The Hokum Karam is a race where 2 runners take turns running a mile apiece for 4 miles total.
The girls ran first at the Lady Archers, and the Lady Archers showed that they would be a team to reckon with this season, snagging 3 of the top 10 spots in the field for 14 teams. Mary Eubank and Grayson Stewart teamed up to grab the 3rd spot overall. The pairing of Ella Bailey and Audrey Wise took 7th, while teammates Izzy Snyder and Dana George snared the 10th spot. Great running, girls.
The boys were led by Manny Reynolds and Hudson Kaser. Together they raced to a 6th place finish, missing out on 5th place by less than a second. The entire cross-country team has its first meet of the season Thursday night here at Discovery. Come on out and cheer them on. Admission is free and excitement is guaranteed.
Ambassadors, this is a reminder to pick up your field trip permission forms and guidance. They are due back as soon as possible. The first meeting will be Friday, September 6th at 8:15 a.m.
Students, don't forget to check your email each day. This is an important habit to get into. Now to Mrs. Weaver.
Hey, good morning. I am back. Today we're actually going to do a couple different categories. Remember I said that all of these were student recommended books that students recommended we use this year for 3 Book 1 School. So some categories we had more books, like yesterday we had like 6 fantasy books to choose from because we had more books recommended in that category. So today we're going to be looking at 2 categories, but you're going to vote on the same form. So when they put that link up, there is when they have that link up for you and you go into vote, there's actually going to be 2 separate questions to vote. The first one is going to be mystery and paranormal, and you're going to pick one of those books. If you had to read one, which one would it be? And then you're going to go down to the second question, which has the historical and realistic fiction books. And again, you're going to pick one of those, whichever one you think sounds most interesting. So from the first category, a little bit more description on some of the books. Book 1, Tess tries hard to keep out of her father's domineering and abusive attention. She also tries to keep her sister in line, since her father likes to punish one sister for the wrongs of the other. As a young girl, she often escaped into dreams of a traveling, mysterious carnival competition, hoping it would visit their island. When a stranger shows up and then her sister disappears, Tessa has to escape the island to try and rescue her sister. She ends up at the carnival competition and becomes a participant in order to save her sister. Can she win and save her sister? Can she trust the other competitor that she is paired up with? And when her father shows up hunting her and her sister, can she keep out of his sights long enough to even finish the competition? Okay, second book. Ross isn't a great student, but he loves playing games, any kind of games. When he finds out that the most famous game maker is having a contest where the prize is an overnight stay in the recently remodeled local library as part of its grand opening, he decides to enter and try to win a spot. What the winners don't know is that the overnight stay is actually a competition. The students are locked in the library with clues hidden throughout, and they must try to solve the clues in order to escape. Ross is very competitive and he wants to win, but can he find the right team to help him? And can they find the clues and solve them first? And what happens when things start to go wrong and competitors start to disappear? Okay, third book in that category. Tessa is gifted with the ability to see the paranormal and she finds a job working for a small startup business that specializes in finding and eliminating the paranormal spirits from homes and businesses. Unfortunately, the bigger companies are out to ruin the business that she joined, and most of their jobs come up as or end up being successful disasters. So they solve the mysteries, but they cause a lot of damage in the process. And it leads to an ultimatum from the branch that licenses their type of business. Solve a case without causing disaster, or you're going to lose your license. Ross, her boss, decides to take on a very old, unsolved case, and from the start, everything seems to go wrong again. Can they solve the mystery and eliminate the angry spirits? Who is the mysterious person or group that seems to be working against them? Will there be a business even left once the case is over? And can they stay alive? So those are your first 3 choices. Now, for the second category that you're voting on today, we got 3 more books. The one on your vote or ballot sheet that's called Book 4, Tess lives in East Berlin after the end of World War II. One night, while her father and brother are in West Berlin, part of the city, the West Berlin part of the city, looking for work and housing so that their family can move to the western side, a fence goes up between East Germany and West Germany, separating the 2 halves of the city. Because her father has a history of protesting East German policies, he's not allowed back into East Germany. No one in East Germany is allowed out. And if you try to escape, it means death. Meanwhile, her oldest brother is being forced to join the East German military or become imprisoned himself. Can her older brother escape before being forced into the army? Can Tessa find a way to reunite her whole family? Book 5 from today. This is the story of 3 teens living at different times. Ross is a Jewish boy living in Germany at the start of World War II. Tessa is a girl living in a communist Cuba after the fall of the Soviet Union in the early 1990s. Josh is a boy living in Aleppo, Serbia in 2016, just following the uprising and the civil conflict and during the civil conflict that's occurring there. Each of them has more incidents that cause them, with their families, to try to flee to find safer places to live. Can Ross's father heal after time in a concentration camp and help his family find a new home for them across the sea? Can Tessa's family make it to Florida on a homemade boat through storms and sharks? Can Josh's family make it past the soldiers, across the Mediterranean on an inflatable raft, and through countries that really don't want them? And book 6. Tessa's parents are struggling in their marriage, and Tess feels like she needs to hide how much stress and anxiety she's feeling about this and the other things going on in her life. She escapes by writing stories about a mythical world that is very real to her. When her parents decide to send her to live with her estranged grandparents for the summer, the solitary, quiet Tess is suddenly overwhelmed by the expectations of strict grandparents and the attention of her many, many cousins. The one bright spot is found in the woods behind her grandparents' house. To Tess, it is the mythical world that she's been writing about. As she begins to make friends with her cousins and some of the neighborhood kids, she also finds that she has even more secrets that she has to hide from those around her. When her grandparents sign her up to see a counselor, and then her parents tell her that they've decided to get a divorce, everything starts to fall apart. Will Tess ever be able to confide her secrets and struggles to anyone? Will the secrets in her family become known to other people? And if they do, what will happen to the people that she has come to care so much about? Okay, so those are your book choices today. Next week, I will be back on, and the top book from each category will be up for a vote, and at that point, you'll decide like what our top 3 books will be. So today you're voting to narrow it down. Next week, you're voting for the final 3. So I will see you next week.
Have a fantastic Friday, Discovery. Bye.